everyone? Oh, hold on. Okay, hold on. I think the sensitivity of my mic is off in regards to my model, so I'm going to disappear for a sec. Testing, 1, 2, testing. Hold on. Okay, it's just being really weird. Hold on, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Hold on. Don't want to ruin the magic. There we go. Hello, everyone. I am gonna start this off, kind of explaining myself, I guess? Question mark? Hold on, I'm, a little worried. Can you guys... Oh, never mind. Okay, you can hear me. But yeah, like I was saying, I am gonna start this off as a little bit of a disclaimer of sorts. I probably won't be as, like, upbeat and cheerful and outgoing as I usually try to be, because I have had an incredibly rough 2 weeks. And, mentally, your girl's kind of going through it. And I did intend to redo my stream where I talked about my trip, because I wasn't really happy with last one, that, and I was incredibly tired, so I like was kind of messing up events as they happened, and I was kind of jumping from one topic to the next, but I don't think I'm going to be talking about my trip again. But yeah, I am... The fact that I'm not doing great is also the reason why I'll get a stream instead of a video, so apologies. But anyway, enough about me lamenting my mental state. How are you guys doing? Oh, thank you, Lauren. I'm glad you like them. Also, sorry if I sound distracted while talking. I am literally sewing while I'm streaming because I wanted to give my hands something to do. I'm sorry to hear that, Joel. Floor is yours if you want to talk about it. Well, look at that. Cass being early. What has the world come to? Joel, I'm unsure who that is aimed at, but I'm sorry to hear you got cheated on. I hope your ex rots in hell, because that's what cheaters deserve. Meanwhile, I have had to literally call off a big project I was working on that involved a bunch of other VAs that I was stressed about but really excited for, because I never get involved, or like I never get invited to collabs, so I wanted to run one myself. It went disastrously and I kind of feel like hot garbage because of it. And I've also felt like hot garbage since my last stream, because I feel that every time I want to talk about something, someone else swoops in and steals the spotlight. Joelle, I'm sorry if that felt like aimed directly at you, but I am just a little... Again, I'm in my feels, and that also means that my nice filter isn't as strong as she usually is, so if I hurt you with that, I am sorry. Because in the interim, I also got to see a band that I adore, that, and not to sound cliche, literally saved my life. But again, I'm not going to talk about it. Also, partially because that has a higher likelihood of doxing me, but you know. Sorry, I sound like such a cunt right now. I'm so sorry. Yeah, like I mentioned previously, I've kind of been going through it for the past 2 weeks, so again, sorry if I sound a little out of sorts, if you will. And Anna, you don't have to apologize, it's not your fault. You did nothing wrong. To be honest, technically none of you did anything wrong. Just sometimes our brains can be incredibly cruel to ourselves and tell us things that are not real, but we believe it anyway because it's our brains telling us these things. And when you already don't feel good about yourself, you're far more susceptible to believing those things. My thread got tangled. For those just joining, if I sound distracted, it's because I'm sewing while I'm streaming, because I need to have something to do with my hands at all times. It's also why you have heard plenty of clicking of pens and fumbling and me accidentally dropping things in previous streams. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Right. We do want to hear what you have to say. That's over here. Yeah, I don't know. I also felt a little sensitive. I sound like such a whiny asshole. Jesus Christ. I also felt a little like not great about the fact that last time I was like talking about our trip and I was like still really excited about everything that happened because I'd literally come home that day and like the chat was just like dead. And I know like you guys don't owe me shit. Like I'm already grateful that there's like as many people as you that tune into my streams, but for some reason I was just like, I am excited, but I'm literally the only person excited for this. No one else cares. No one else is talking. No one is asking questions. I need to shut up and boot up The Sims or something, because that's probably what people would be more excited about than me rambling about something that I think is fun. And yes, I ate. Despite, you know, struggling with mental health issues, eating is one of the things I am good about when I don't feel great about myself. Probably turn on a light because I can't see what I'm doing. It's really dark in my little computer corner, which feels apropos. Hush your face, I want to hear about all these things. Are you sure? Because again, like the fact that no one was talking. I know I get in my own head about these things. I think we all kind of do. But I just felt so... like... You know when you're in a group of people and you're in the middle of telling a story. Joelle, I don't watch TV shows. Like, you're in the middle of telling a story and then you can see that, like, no one is really paying attention. And, like, they're talking about their own thing. That's the feeling I had. Which, again, it's stupid. And I'm probably making things up because I know myself. I look for the negative in everything. But yeah, that's the feeling I had. So I'm very apprehensive about talking about it now. Oh, my cat has decided to come join us. Hi, honey. Pollinator has entered the chat. What are you sewing, by the way? I very incredibly impulsively decided to make a hexagon quilt. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I also was working on a sewing project for a friend, but that is with incredibly finicky fabric, and I was under the impression, oh, I'm just gonna hand sew it. It's just a couple of straight seams. No big deal. I tried. The fabric kept slipping out of my hands, and I got so frustrated that I decided that tomorrow I'm gonna go pick up my sewing machine out of storage and do it that way. Can you sew me an apron? I don't know if... don't know if that's a good idea. I already have enough to do on my own accord, but it's sweet that you're asking, I think. Also, as coincidence must have it, I made like a little template to cut out my fabric to make these hexagons. I was literally into my second, because they're made out of circles. Don't ask me the logistics. I just followed a tutorial. But literally the second circle I pinned down, I pricked my thumb and I bled all over the template, and now there's just like dried blood on it. I should really remake it and throw it away. But yeah, we should have like a stream or a call where we just all do the crafts. Yeah, I've been thinking about hosting a movie night in the server. Problem is time zones. Because I think most of people in my server are in US time zones, and I am very much not. And I don't want to miss out on my own event. Oh, Lilith, don't worry. It was like a barely there prick. Like, I already don't know where I pricked myself. You can't even see it anymore. Also, my partner got me really cute band-aids with dinosaurs. Oh no, wait, dragons, sorry. Really cute band-aids with dragons on them. I saw them on my desk. They came in handy because I got Solaver boots, which are Doc Martens, but more ethically made and not named after a Nazi, and my feet now have blisters all over them. I currently am crocheting a summer dress because capitalism sucks, and we should go back to making our own clothes. Amen to that. Amen to that. Also, sorry that I keep like harping on this, but another reason why I'm not really keen to talk about my trip again is because I feel like I'm sure everyone at this point is like familiar with Sleep Token and stuff, but like I feel like I'm gonna be mentioning like half of these bands and I'm just gonna get crickets. Should the dragons please and thank you. I'll take a picture and put them in the Discord server. Hold on, let me grab my phone. Which I should really charge because I'm a dummy and I forgot to do so earlier. We're gonna ignore that they're technically kids band-aids. I've currently watched the first two Scream movies. I kind of watch them when I work from home, have them on in the background. I'm saying that because, like, in cartoony letters on the box, it says kids band-aids. Oh. Ah, shoot, there's a knot in my thread. I hate it when that happens. Technically, a kid still, so I still buy kids band-aids. Ignore how I'm an adult. I feel that I literally bought myself a Monster High doll just because I could. And because I think they look cool. And, like, little me would have been all over Monster High if they came out, like, a little earlier. Because by the time Monster High was a thing, I was too old to be playing with dolls, at least according to my mother. Hi, I'm considered a kid, so theoretically I could buy you some without suspicion. Honestly, if anyone asks questions, which, why would you ask questions about what kind of band-aids someone buys? Just say, like, oh, they're for my cousin, or, like, my little sibling, or just say, hey, I bought them because I think they're cute. Which one did you... I got the Draculaura one, like, the one that's, like, curvier. I don't know what these specific types are called, but they're like different from the standard Monster High dolls. She's currently sitting on my screen, like between my two computer screens technically, just kind of staring at me. She keeps falling over, but I want her to sit there because I don't know. Because I said so. Sorry, I had to mute because my partner sent a voice message. Anyway. Yeah, I think it's the new gen. I don't keep up with these things. I just bought her because, like, I bought this doll because I thought she looked cute. And it's the first time I've seen a body type that is even, like, vaguely similar to mine in a doll. Anyway, what was I doing? Right, I was almost done sewing these two together. That hurt. Anyway, have you guys been up to something interesting or noteworthy or something you feel like sharing? I'll spot a plushie for a girl I'm going to drive 10 hours to visit because I'm insane. That's just a standard sapphic experience, to be honest. That I'm moving in way too quickly. Lusty, it's 7 p.m. A girl, when you're making a washing machine audio that needs their partner. In time. When I have the time to. I have destroyed 2.5 Discord. How do you destroy exactly half a Discord server? Krokor in a constant battle with needles. Yeah, either I get pierced or I prick myself with them while sewing. Either or. It's a long story. Alright, I'm sure we'll hear it eventually. What was I going to do? I keep forgetting what I want to do mid, like, moving to do it. I need help. Lilith, to answer your question, that's debatable. I'll leave it at that. Help me reach. Cass, the more I hear about you, the more I'm starting to get concerned. I have 5 face piercings because nobody told me no. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 piercings in my ears alone because people kept telling me no, and then I became an adult with my own autonomy and adult money, and no one could tell me no anymore. Lilith, my laugh sounds unhinged. Either I sound like a crazy person or I sound like a Windex bottle. There is no in between. Hold on, I'm gonna turn on the light. Spite is a lovely motivator. Honestly, that's my motto. I'm alive out of spite. Yeah, my partner pointed out that when I like do the Windex laugh, she knows she actually made me laugh, and I'm not laughing out of courtesy. Okay, well, my parents told me no to the piercings, but they aren't people, so... Okay, that's a little harsh. Who on God's green earth still fights about Edward v. Jacob in the year of our Lord, 2023? I was a teenager when that fight was happening the first time around. Don't bring it back, please. Because I lived through the OG Twilight craze. No, thank you. You have to find the right places. Well then, apparently I am in the right places because I see none of that. Sorry, I'm being really mean. Like, I don't care, like, I personally don't care about Twilight, but if that's your jam, good on you. If it brings you happiness, and I wish you nothing but joy consuming that media. It is just not for me. Also, I will openly admit this, because I grew from it, and hopefully maybe others can, but I used to be a pick-me. And when Twilight, like, grew in popularity, I was that bitch that started reading Dracula, because Edward's not a real vampire. Like, shut up. I was insufferable as a teenager. Yes, they should. Edward and Jacob should kiss. I don't care about either, just thought it was funny. Yeah. It is sometimes kind of amusing when people can, like, get themselves worked up for or about, or... I was gonna say a third word, but I couldn't think of it. But I will say, the only positive thing to come out of me being a pick-me and reading the original Dracula in spite of Twilight because I was insufferable was that I got a big affinity towards monsters in general, especially vampires. And it's inadvertently kind of led to this whole thing being a thing. Because I used to write monster stuff and kind of became this in a weird roundabout way. Those are some interesting debates you're having, Cass. Though, you'd be surprised at what people are attracted to when it comes to monsters. I have seen things. I have written things. I'll be going to sleep now. Hope you have a great night, Crow. Love you. Hope you have a good night. Hope you sleep well, Lilith. Cass is an entity that thrives off of chaos. Shoot, I was gonna say something, but I lost it. so annoyed that I forgot what I was gonna say. Ugh. Oh, right, I remember now. I am gonna, lead this with my vehemently stressing that if you are below the age of 18, I strongly disapprove of you seeking this out. And I'm going to I'm going to say, please don't do this. Respect my wishes. Do not go to my Reddit account and listen to my stuff. This is not some cute reverse psychology. This is me being serious. Don't fucking do that. But if you are above the age of 18, I was interviewed by a dear friend of mine, and it's about an hour long, and it's cross-posted to my subreddit if you want to give that a watch. But again, if you're below the age of 18, I'm going to kindly ask you to not do that. Thank you very much. I posted it in my Reddit, but not in my Reddit, in my server, but only in the Not Safe for Work section because of this exact reason. Which there's like maybe 5 people in it. Anyway, God, no wonder it's not pricking. This pin is dull as hell. Again, for those just joining us, the weird noises you hear in the background is me sewing. I found you from your Reddit. Actually, I'm above 18. Please. As long as you are of legal age, I'm not going to yell at you for listening to my adult content. I just, personally, am incredibly fucking uncomfortable. Sorry for the cussing. Why am I apologizing for cussing? But if you are younger than that, I am incredibly uncomfortable with the idea of anyone engaging with my adult content, because that is gross. Minors do not interact does not mean minors just, like, do as you please and lie about it and gloat on TikTok about the fact you're disrespecting people's boundaries. Sorry, I'm still bitter about that. I'm sure I'll listen to it in like 2 weeks. I got GG. No rush. No worries. It's just me being a nerd and actually geeking out because someone asked me questions about the things I like. And also just in general about the VA sphere and how I became a VA and all that good stuff. My friend Lusty was also interviewed. I would suggest you listen to her as well because she is an absolute delight. Again, no kitties. No minors allowed. Why do I still really want to talk about my trip even though I know I'm going to get my feelings hurt? For Christ's sake. Sorry, I wasn't cussing at you guys. I was cussing at myself because I kept doing the wrong thing. You'd think that after all these years I would be able to properly cut a circle, but you would be wrong. Also, I told a story about how I got constipated in the middle of SeaWorld. Ooh, that sounds deeply unpleasant. Talk about it, do what you gotta do. I suppose. I do have pictures and stuff, but again, don't know how interested you guys would be hearing me talk about a 4-day metal fest that I went to, so. Yeah, the listening is not the problem, it's the fact that everyone went quiet last time I talked, and you with your unfortunate engagement announcement, kinda. I will be entirely honest about that. Again, I'm not mad at you for sharing, not at all, but it took the wind out of my sails, because I am one of those people that the second like someone interrupts me or starts talking about their own thing or just kind of like starts taking the spotlight, I will like let them, and I will kind of shut down and let them speak, and that is a me problem, and I fully acknowledge that, and I'm working on that. But it just took the wind out of my sails, and yeah, it didn't help that I was also really tired. Yeah, I even put on like royalty-free metal music in the background, and actually it was very distracting while I was talking. I'll talk about it in a bit. I am cutting out fabric circles right now. But I do have pictures. I like saw some pretty cool bands and some that I've been listening to since I was like a teenager, so that was pretty fun. You mean my last stream cast? I think you might have come in at the very end. You and Nana both. I honestly don't fully remember who was there and who wasn't, because I have a memory like a sieve. God, if only Eclipse hadn't gone out to do groceries, this would be all very much easier. Oh boy. Because again, for those just joining, I'm very low energy today. I've had a really rough past 2 weeks, and it's why there's no video, but there is a stream, so apologies if this isn't high entertainment, or I'm not my usual bubbly self, or I'm not playing a video game or anything. I do kind of want to try and play like Dead by Daylight, because I do want to like... I know that I've kept things kind of more PC, or I've tried to at least, but I also like really like spooky stuff and just like more... I wouldn't say controversial because that's not the right word, but like darker things and all that, and I kind of want to play that more, but I know that's not really what most people in my channel seem to be into, because usually the things that I like doing, or that are my personal tastes, tend to flop, unfortunately, which, you know, just the way the cookie crumbles. I'm not upset about that, but, you know, it is what it is. That and the algorithm has not been kind to me lately. But I got a copyright strike a while ago, so I think that probably has to do with it. I think I should hold my peace. Uh-oh. Did I say something wrong? I'm sorry if I did. Yeah, as soon as I'm done cutting out these last 4 circles, I'll start talking about my trip again. I think I still have the pictures saved on my desktop, so I can share them if you guys want to see. Also, I'm really sorry. This is just like all me complaining. I hate that I'm like this right now, and I hate that I'm not more entertaining for you guys. I'm really sorry. Your crow is kisses. My username is actually a nod towards a VA I used to really like. I don't know if they're still active or not, but I needed a username. I like their stuff, so it's like, I'm going to kind of make my name an homage to yours. Sure. We've never interacted. I don't even think he knows of my existence. But you know. No, you didn't. I just have some thoughts. Uh-oh. Cass has thoughts. Oh no. Okay, 2 more and I'll start yammering. My entire desk is just covered in fabric. Okay. But yeah, while I'm doing these last 2, how's you guys' weekend been? Or your Saturday at least? If it's not just starting. Because today I've had a productive, yet weirdly lazy day. Funny how that happens. But I got a lot of stuff done around the apartment that needed doing, like laundry and dishes and stuff. And spent basically the entire afternoon cutting fabric and sewing and pricking my finger over and over. The worst part is I have a thimble. I could have avoided this. I chose not to. I like to live recklessly. And by recklessly, I mean not wearing a thimble while sewing, which is the most grandma thing I could have said. I woke up and started watching you. Oh, and showered. Well, good morning then. Hope you have a lovely day today. Hope that today is kind to you, and that if you have anything fun planned, that it's fun. And I'm done with my last circle. Okay, let me clean up a little and then I'll pull up the pictures. And that's a thing for later me to deal with. Okay, there we go. Alright, so well, you can use a thimble, not just yes, I have like a sort of plastic thimble with like a rubber pad where your thumbprints would, or like your fingerprints would be. Became a friend with a streamer today. Well, that's fun. If you feel comfortable, which streamer is it? Because I am very out of the loop when it comes to anything streaming related, which is funny because I want to try and give streaming properly, like on Twitch and stuff, a go. Because I'm a masochist, apparently. Okay, so the reason why not last week, but the week before that, the video was kind of scuffed, was because I spent the entire weekend at a... Oh no, wait, not scuffed. I didn't have a video that I think, hold on. Yeah, I just completely skipped that week. That was because I was at a 4-day heavy metal festival in my country that is really popular. I was literally hanging out with people that flew in from Sweden and Colombia, and what else was there? I think I even met an Italian at one point. But yeah, I gotta remember what happened. Like, I came a day early because I was camping the entire time, and that was a whole shenanigan in and of itself, because I was at the free camping spot, so it was kind of like first come, first serve, which was fun. And one of like that night we just kind of like hung out, and I got to know the people around me a little better, the people behind us. One of the guys got so drunk, he kept repeating the same 5 questions over and over. And the guy whose tent was like next to mine made a kind of a drinking game out of it, which is kind of funny. And then the next day, we got on to the actual festival grounds themselves, and yeah, it was literally, I camped, and it was, the concerts went from like noon to like 2 in the morning in Slipknot's case. And like the first day, me and my camping buddies, we all went together, and me and my, who I will lovingly refer to as my camp dad, decided we're gonna get merch first, because he had 2 kids and he promised he would get them something, and you know what that's like. So we lined up for the merch booth, and we stood in the blazing sun at like almost 30 degrees Celsius, which is something of like 87 degrees Fahrenheit, for like an hour, which was fun. I got a ghost hoodie out of it at the end, so I'm not too mad, but that was an experience. But the first noteworthy concert of that day that I saw was Escape the Fate, and I'm just gonna pull up a random picture from that. But this happened, which is pretty cool. I was really close to the stage. Super chill guys, super fun. I've been listening to them again since I was like a teenager, so that was really fun to see them live. And later that day, the reason why I came 4 days as well was because Ghost was playing. And Ghost is one of my all-time favorite bands. I have a tattoo of them. I have like a shit ton of their shirts. I have all of their records on vinyl. Really big fan. I've been to a concert of theirs before. Just, they mean a lot to me. So, of course, I decided, you know what? Might as well go all 4 days. How many people were there? Hold on, I'm gonna Google that, because it's a really big festival. So there are apparently no numbers for this year yet, but last year there were something of it 220,000 people who came to the festival. But yeah, Ghost played like that evening. This is my favorite picture I took. It's actually a live photo, but you know, OBS does not like that. But I had a ton of fun. I love the freaking crowd surfer. You can just see at the very bottom there. Yeah, I showed Eclipse the poster of the lineup, and they literally just went "fuck you" towards me. But yeah, like I saw Ghosts; they were amazing as always. Don't know how familiar you are with what happens at like the song "Mummy Dust" that they play, and Mummy Dust is basically just kind of like a way to refer to money. And at one point during that song, a cannon goes off, and they shoot off like confetti and fake dollar bills, and I've always wanted to catch one of these fake dollar bills. Unfortunately, I was too far back in the crowd, and due to wind, it all just went to the right, to the other main stage. But after, I was just kind of milling about, still like in a complete daze that I saw them again. And I saw just like this lady with like a stack of them. And it just kindly, I said, "Can I have one?" And she gave it to me, and I, dead ass, I'm gonna frame it and put it on my wall. Okay, let me see, what else? And then like the second day was not as eventful. That was mostly just kind of me milling about from band to band. Was that on Friday? I don't remember. But I also got to see a band that just... Oh, Gay Panic. Gay Panic. The gayest of Panic. The gayest of Panic. You understand now. But one of my camping buddies, I would to say he dragged me to see them is not the right phrasing. But I'm glad that I was taken to see this band. They're called Thunder Mother, by the way. Oh. But on Saturday, I got to see Sleep Token, and I'm still not over it. Hold on, let me pull up a picture of this. Yeah, there's another picture I took that I cannot in good conscience show on stream. But yeah, I also got to see Sleep Token, which is really, really cool. I was very close to the stage. I was like, I think there were like 4 or 5 people in front of me, which is relatively close. But something interesting that Vessel, so the singer of Sleep Token, does, he doesn't speak to the crowd. With other bands, they will like call out like, "Oh, I want to see more crowd surfers," like "You guys rock," or like stuff like that. You know, standard concert shenanigans. Vessel does not speak to the crowd. He just kind of prowls around the stage and sorry, just kind of prowls around the stage, and they just kind of go from song to song. But it was really, really fun, a really cool experience. Really cool to hear their music live. And what else? Who else did I see? I also saw Amon Amarth. I saw Slipknot from a distance. I saw Parkway Drive from a distance. Again, I sat on my ass on the grass for a lot of time because it is really exhausting to go to a festival like that. It's so much fun. It's so much fun, but it is so stressful. Yeah, work in the crowds and incredible. That reminds me of something. So the day that Slipknot played, which I think was also on Saturday, the band that opened the festival that day was Vended, which, if you don't know, is led by the son of Corey Taylor, the front man of Slipknot. I think his kid's named Griffin. I could be wrong on that. But this poor kid, I don't know how old he is. I assume early 20s. But this poor kid, he was trying so hard to get people to do a mosh pit at 12 at lunchtime. I just was watching from a distance, just still kind of deciding what I was going to do that day. And I was just sat there oh, poor kid, it's not going to happen. It's too early for this nonsense. I'm sorry. But yeah, Slipknot I wanted to see, but I was so tired. I just meandered back to my tent, which is a good 20-minute walk from the venue. I could perfectly hear everything Corey Taylor was saying / singing the entire time. Oh, that's the most awkward part. Yeah, I feel bad for him. He was really trying. He tried 3 times to get people to do a circle pit. Oh, and I saw Hollywood Undead. I was 2 people from Barricade, or 1. No, there was 1 person in front of me. And it was fun for 2 songs, and then the crowd surfers happened. I don't think I lowered my arms for the rest of the concert, because there's just 1 person after the next, after the next, after the next. It was exhausting. It was a workout. But the energy was unreal. It was so much fun, but owie. And at one point, I helped this guy over my head, and I just feel a thunk on my head. His phone had fallen out of his pocket, straight onto my noggin. So I just wanting this guy to get his phone back, just immediately pass it to the guy in front of me, please save me. Please take us to security. It's what is this? Oh, it fell out of this guy's pocket. Oh, okay. And they just kind of passed it along to security up front. And I'm pretty sure he got his phone back, but still, that that was a little stressful. And another crowd surfer, I was holding him above my head, but I lost control of the leg I was holding, and it zoomed past my ear and yanked my earring out. That fucking sucked. I mean, it didn't really hurt aside from feeling his foot just kind of scrape my cheek. But luckily, it was just a straight stud in my ear, so it didn't pull anything and nothing bled. But that was not fun. Like after that concert, I went straight back to my tent. I was like in a daze. I felt I was not on this planet. That was a lot. It surprisingly wasn't. Like again, all that happened was like I felt his foot just kind of like graze my cheek and like my ear, but pain-wise I felt nothing. I did just like touch my ear to see if anything happened, and I felt like part of my earring was missing because it's like a stud attached to a chain to a ring on my other earring. It's a trade-off to seeing all the cool bands like Thunder Mother. Yeah, there were a lot of cool bands that came this year. I didn't get to see all of the ones I wanted because I was simply that exhausted, but I even left a little early, which is when I did my initial stream. Yeah, I also saw part of Papa Roach's set, but I kind of got like a little unwell during the middle of that because again, it was really, really warm and I just didn't feel peachy, so I decided to just kind of like take a little break and go back to my tent. But that was also really cool because again, Papa Roach is one of those bands that I've been listening to since I was a very angsty teenager. Also a great band live. And hopefully, well, next year I am gonna go again, and my partner is gonna go with me, even though this is absolutely not their scene. But they said they're just probably gonna hang out like on the camping site for the most part, which is also a very fun experience. Everyone's really sweet. But yeah, that was basically my trip. I'm sorry if this wasn't what you tuned in for, or it wasn't very interesting, but I had a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. Ghost and Sleep Token both are my favorite. They were well, Ghost is the main reason I wanted to go, and then I kept seeing like other cool bands that I really liked or like that I wanted to see, and I decided, you know what, let's just go the full 4 days. And then actually, I didn't know Sleep Token was going because they didn't originally announce it, and I was listening to the official playlist for this festival, and then suddenly I heard Sleep Token. I was like, wait a minute. And I pulled up the website and they had announced that Sleep Token was coming, and I got super excited, and they were like on my definitely to watch list, or like to see list rather. Yeah, Sleep Token and Ghost were, in my opinion, the highlights of the festival for me. I definitely want to see both live again. Because the Ghost set, in my opinion, felt a little rushed because they did have like a limited time slot that was shorter than how long their concerts usually are. So you could feel, I feel like you could sense the pressure to like get all their songs that they wanted to play out and like not go over their time constraints. Yeah, like literally, I had a few days, or like a few days. I had 4 days to recover, and then I traveled to a completely different country to see one of my all-time favorite bands, the Deer Hunter, live, because they skipped my country, but they were in the like in a neighboring country, so I literally like booked a hotel room and like a train. Like I had to take 3 trains to get there and 4 to get back, which is a fucking nightmare. But I have zero regrets. I was super close to stage. It was a very small venue, really cozy, and I bought merch from one of the band members, which was really cool. That's kind of lame. How long did they play for? I think an hour and a half? I don't remember. But the sets usually for like I don't want to say smaller bands because there were some like notable bands, but the standard set were like 45 minutes and the headliners got like an hour and a half, I think. Ah, yeah. Sorry, I stabbed myself with a needle again. I need to stop looking at the like watch number because it's just making me sad. Because like, I feel like people just absolutely tuned out while I was talking, which I don't blame them for. If it's not your thing, I completely understand. But yeah, that was the reason why I was absent for a week. Were there camping supplies there, or you had to prep to? They don't supply stuff. Well, you could buy like some stuff on the on the campsite shop, but that was incredibly limited. So if you didn't have a tent, tough luck, bud. But what I found really annoying is that people, when they leave, just like leave their tent and stuff behind, which that's a waste of money, 2, loitering. Like, why are you doing that? And me, absolutely knowing myself, I even brought like a separate tote bag to stuff all my merch in. It was just big enough to fit everything. Because I'd like set money aside to kind of splurge, because this is like my vacation for the year. So I feel that frowny face, Laura Lohehai. Luckily, the trip back was like real easy. Because I was a little nervous about that. Because I've never gone to this festival on my own. I used to go with family. And it was my first time just going completely solo, so that was kind of nerve-wracking. But I did it, and I had a lot of fun. And I've kind of like decided that I really just in general want to see more shows, like bands and stuff. I already am gonna see Bad Omens in February, which is really exciting. Lucy came back safe. Yep. Funnily enough, this festival is one of the safest, which is funny considering that this is music about like, well, on occasion, not all bands, of course, but a lot of it's like really aggressive music and about like death and murder and like gore and stuff, like especially because Ice Nine Kills performed, which if you don't know Ice Nine Kills, they basically make songs about like slashers and like famous horror IPs and stuff like that. Think Pennywise, think Scream, think Friday the 13th. But this, like, I've never felt as safe as I do when I'm there. I've been trying to see as many shows as I can that I have the money for. Yeah, I have the impression that shows in America in general are just like a lot more expensive than the ones that I can see. Because my ticket for Bad Omens was like $36, which feels relatively cheap for a concert, in my opinion. But again, I have not gone to a ton of shows. Most of the concerts I've seen are on like a festival kind of basis, if you will. So I have not a lot of reference for how much a concert ticket generally goes. I don't know, even near the mosh pits you felt safe. I mean, not the mosh pits, but I know how to stay away from them, and in general, again, just mosh pits, the second, like, people notice you're not where you're supposed to be, or, like, you want to get out, or you're falling or anything, they pick you up immediately, they help you out of there, it's, like, super courteous, weirdly. Jesus, that's cheap. I need to go to pin drops if you want to pay at least 50. Ugh. Yeah. I know that Ticketmaster does some absolute bullshit in the US. I mean, I'm not that super fond of them in general, but they're not great in my country either, but like they're especially egregious in the US. I just try to buy my tickets straight from the concert venues themselves, because that's usually where you get your tickets. But yeah, again, different countries, different rules, I guess. I also have like an app called Bands in Town, which you get alerts when like there's a show near you, which helps when you want to get a ticket quickly. Speaking of shows, have y'all seen that absolute nonsense that Melanie Martinez had the gall to pull with her VIP experience? Cause I saw that and I was like, these people deserve a refund. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Hold on. I think I might have said it wrong indeed. Hold on. Let me grab my phone real quick. No, it's called Bands in Town. It's like the logo of it's like a blue hand throwing up the devil horns. Basically, if you're unfamiliar with the whole the whole Melanie Martinez nonsense, like she charged, I think it was something of like $400 for a VIP experience that came with a meet and greet, quote unquote. But the meet and greet was just like this really shittily shot AR experience. People didn't even get to meet Melanie in the flesh. It was literally they stared at a screen in which Melanie Martinez was like virtually imposed next to them. It wasn't even a hologram. It was literally could see themselves on a big screen, and like Melanie Martinez was just kind of like photoshopped in there with them, I guess. The lighting didn't even line up, which was like, oh god, those people deserve a refund. That's some nonsense. Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can find a picture of this or something, because that is... Okay, hold on. Because it's trying to send me to TikTok. Okay, so you see, you know, the way Melanie stands next to this girl, you can see like the bottom of her dress and everything, and the fact that she's so much tinier than the girl standing next to her. It looks like shitty Photoshop. Like, if I was a Melanie stan, I would be so mad. I would be pissed. I have no idea what else happened. I just know that a lot of people are upset over this specific part of it. And apparently they also got some merch, but apparently it was also not great quality and stuff. Which, if you're gonna if you're gonna ask people to pay out the ass for like a VIP ticket, at least give them some cool swag. Oh god, I really showed my age there with that word. I am so sorry. Yeah, the lighting didn't even match up. Like, that's the least they could do. Come on now. Yeah, like, I saw that pass on TikTok so many times, and I saw one clip of a girl who was just, like, frowning so hard the entire time that Melanie clip played. And I'm like, girl, I don't blame you. Go demand a refund. You deserve it, boo. Random question. Did anyone tell you that your ASMR helped inspire them? Well, not in the sense that it inspired them to start their own stuff, but I did have at least 2 people very kindly approach me to tell me that my stuff helped them figure out their gender identity, which is incredibly fucking humbling. But yeah, I guess you kind of could say that I've inspired people, just not to create their own content, more to be like more open in who they are and help figure them that aspect of themselves out. Please, there's so much celebrity drama I don't want to pay attention to. I feel that. Like, that whole Colleen Ballinger, Miranda Sings, whatever the fuck drama, I don't care. I don't care. I know that what she did is atrocious, but if I hear a snippet of that stupid ukulele cover one more time, I'm going to actively lose it. It's not even a cover, it's an original thing. Well, I tried and failed, but it did help me start writing books. Sorry, Sunday, I'm a little confused. Also, tell me why my incredibly bored ass decided while I was sewing this afternoon to watch a 3-hour video documentary on the concept of Snape wives. If you don't know what that is, good on you. I tried doing ASMR and failed. Well, let me ask you this. How long did you try ASMR for? Because people nowadays, and I don't want to sound like a nag or like I'm preaching, But people nowadays are so used to like instant dopamine with like numbers and subscribers and all that stuff that as soon as we try something and it doesn't immediately lead to like a ton of numbers or like a lot of engagement or this and that, that you kind of immediately get discouraged and decide, oh, this didn't work out, I'm going to move on to the next thing. Because my channel, I've been doing this for almost a year and I'm quote unquote only at 4K subscribers. Two years. Hold on, let me finish up the stitch and I'm gonna do something real quick. Hold on. Sundays, I wanted to quickly look at your channel to see, but I don't see anything on there. Did you like private everything, or did you delete everything, or is it on a separate channel or anything? I want to try script writing just for fun. Oh, I would highly suggest you try it. It's apparently really fun. I haven't really tried script writing myself very often, and if I do, it's mostly for myself. There is a ghost script that I've had in my drafts for a very long time because I'm terrified of my friend Badger voicing it because I don't trust this man to save my life. I deleted it. Well, another question. I'm sorry if I'm like pestering you about this or anything, but were you doing like the ASMRs and like whispering and tapping and that kind of stuff, or like ASMR in the sense that I do it, like role play scenarios and stuff like that? Ooh, adulting going to the store. Good job. Indeed. Good job, Eclipse. You have acquired food. I should probably do like a proper grocery run myself, but I am lazy and I don't feel like dragging groceries to my apartment. Roleplay scenarios. Yeah, honestly, finding your niche in this and like growing an audience is really hard because it is competitive and hold on. It is competitive and like you really have to try hard to like get your stuff out there, and you have to promote yourself and listen to your audience and sometimes make things that you're not entirely happy with because that is what the majority of people want. No, I will not make another Mafia video. But yeah, like, what I can say is persistence is key, and posting on other platforms as well helps, because I started off on Reddit, I know. But that is what kind of led me to YouTube eventually, and I've kind of cross-promoted, and eventually here we are. And the only reason I have the audience I have today is because 2 of my videos unexpectedly kind of took off. I got lucky. I feel. I got lucky. Why don't people understand you didn't write the Mafia series? It's kind of fun. It's even in the description. I like linked the freaking author and everything. Like Nana even had to like, which I am incredibly grateful for because I sound like a broken record every time I say it. But someone in like the comments of my Q&A asked for another part of the Mafia series, and Nana just like, yeah, they're not gonna do that because, you know, that's not their work and they would feel disrespectful, and like it would be disrespectful if I did. But yeah, like, it's not that hard to understand. There is not going to be another part. It has a bad ending. Learn to live with it. And I already talked about the follow-up series that I was briefly contemplating doing it, but that contains sexual assault and, like, torture, and I do not want to do that. Because people don't read ever. Yeah, they don't. I've worked in customer service long enough to realize that people don't read for shit. Even though my ASMR didn't work, I do write books and people like that. Like, books in, like, you publish on Wattpad, or, like, you self-publish on Amazon, or, like... What kind of books? Because I am curious. Yeah, sometimes people need to accept that. Sometimes a story is just over. Yep. If anything, direct people to the original content. Yeah. Thing is, the writer has written some things that I personally am also a little bit icky about. And that I don't really want to be closely associated with. I just really like their Mafia series. But you know, don't like, don't read. Okay. I have complicated feelings about Wattpad, and it's mostly because there's a bunch of teenagers writing smut on there, which I'm not too well pleased about. I say that with my full chest, knowing that I used to be one of those teenagers that wrote smut on Wattpad before it, like, that was... You know, well... I don't know where I was going with that sentence. Oh, that makes sense. I swear you've talked about this before, but same. I, like, feel like this conversation has been had before, but my brain is just sitting here making, like, old startup computer noises. I am also now 9 hexagons into my quilt. I am not sure if I like the look of this. I never got into fanfic and all that stuff until weirdly. Don't get Eclipse started on Transformers. It will never end. And I mean that lovingly, Eclipse. I mean that lovingly. Yeah, if you really want to see Eclipse go on a really long tangent, either bring out musical or like bring up guitars or any sort of musical equipment, or Transformers. You'll be entertained for hours. Just turn me into a... I'm honestly still kind of surprised that Harry Potter has the sort of fandom that it does, especially considering J.K. Rowling's absolutely horrendous behavior. I will not shut up, that is a promise. That is a threat, not a promise, that is a threat! also in lesser scale Critical Role. I cosplayed Yasha once. What's your type? I am not answering that question again. There's always, every stream, someone that comes in and asks that question, and I'm starting to suspect it's bots. Anyway, I'm so glad Hatsune Miku made Harry Potter and Minecraft. Same. God bless our multi-talented queen. Oh yeah, I almost applied to be a lore keeper. Good lord. Knowing your luck, you would have gotten it too, Eclipse. If you hear pins and stuff in the background, I am cutting out fabric again because I am indecisive. The only reason I didn't have good writing examples at hand, but damn it if they ever open the position again. Well, I wish you the best already. But yeah, one of the reasons why I've been so bummed during majority of the stream is because, hi if you just joined, I had to call off a collab I was putting together that tied into Crow's lore and had like a bunch of different VAs playing a bunch of different archetypes of succubi and incubi, and due to my own mismanagement and a falling out with a friend and me bringing on someone that is a good friend of mine, but apparently someone in the collab has ungrounded beef with them. Accidental play on words. They left and took a friend with them, and I think at least it was them. I don't know. My friend kept it very vague for a reason. But that collab kind of fell apart, and I had to pull the plug on it yesterday, and I feel like a big old failure. Yay! Lohahai, if you ever did that, I would deadass just end the stream. I just see like a wall of text going like, what's your type? And just the stream ends. Yeah, trying to get a lot of creatives to work together on stuff like that can be a lot of clashing personalities. That's to put it mildly. That and the reason that collab even came to be was because I was feeling particularly sensitive over the fact that I kept seeing my VA mutuals on Twitter get involved in these big elaborate projects with like a bunch of really talented people that like told these grand and beautiful stories, and I only find out about these things after the fact or once things are already coming out or on accident at one point. And friend of mine, in an attempt to kind of like encourage me, so like, why don't you like make your own collab? And I was like, not really in the headspace for that to begin with. But I felt so like left out that I misguidedly set up my own collab, and it ended up just backfiring on me massively, and I now feel even more kind of alone in this space. So I've, in a little bit of a masochistic sense of self-preservation, have decided to just completely distance myself from everyone. at least for the time being, I'm just not gonna bother anymore. It's not happening, so I'm not forcing it anymore. It's obvious that I don't have a space in this community, so I'm gonna try and wiggle myself in. Like, I'm not gonna try and wiggle myself in there anymore. It's obvious where I stand, and I'm not forcing things anymore. Which sounds incredibly pessimistic, but you know, sometimes it's the way the cookie crumbles. You can't have everyone be your friend. And this community can be very cliquey. Oh shit, the time being you can... What? Eclipse, I'm confused by what you just said. Ow, 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 freaking pin, ow. See, this is what happens when I multitask. I just end up hurting myself on accident. Good job, genius. But my thimble is across the room and I don't feel like getting up. Oh, but yeah, I'll promote this again. Again, starting with my massive disclaimer of if you are a minor, I do not want to see you near my Reddit account. I don't want you listening to my audios. I don't want you interacting with my Not Safe for Work content. Vamos! I don't want to see you near it. But if you are over the age of 18, I was interviewed. It's about an hour long. I get to talk about some nerdy stuff. I get to talk about my experiences as a VA, being a queer VA and everything. So if that's something that you're interested in, go nuts. It makes you feel better. I was moments away from touching a 350 degrees soldering iron multiple times the other day. Jesus Christ, Eclipse, please be careful and wear gloves. Honestly, good for you, Banana. Or Nana, sorry. Stay away from there as far as you can. It's a cesspool. I'm thinking of like maybe editing the interview and leaving out the more salacious parts and posting it on YouTube. I have gotten consent to do that. I just don't have the fucking patience to edit that right now. But I'll see what I can do, and maybe then the younger among us can also listen to the interview without the adult parts. Yeah, stay away from Reddit. And I say that having 2 Reddit accounts. I mean, it's useful if you want to know anything sort of tech related, because if you just Google your problem and then put Reddit after, I can guarantee you that you will find an answer. But it's a cesspool. It's a freaking cesspool. Oh, Nana, I don't need help figuring out editing software. I am already intimately familiar with Audacity. I've used it for literal years. Maybe I'll spend some time on that tomorrow. I'll see how I feel. Maybe that can be the next video. Do you have any plugins you use for Audacity? The only plugin I have is to convert audios to MP3. Because that requires a separate plugin, which is really dumb. But aside from that, not really. I just use vanilla Audacity, if you will. No, that's really sweet, but if I bring on anyone to help me editing, I want to be able to pay them, and unfortunately I'm currently not in a position to offer a decent pay for anyone who would help me edit. Because I think it's only fair that people get compensated for their work rightly. Yeah, I feel that Eclipse because I keep seeing like I'm in a like big VA server and there's like a work bay where if people want to just like work and others like to help them or to watch, you can do that. And I keep seeing like a few of my VA mutuals, I guess, or like my fellow VAs use these really fancy schmancy, complicated looking editing things, and there's me with my simple free Audacity. But whatever gets the job done, I suppose. I don't think I could deal with something that complicated. I am not very tech savvy. Go now, it's late. I'm trying to fix my sleeping schedule. Lol, have a nice dream. Good night, Elizabeth. I hope you have a wonderful night's sleep. And that you have sweet dreams and that you feel nice and refreshed in the morning. Honestly, I don't think I'll keep the stream going for much longer because I'm also pretty fatigued. Yesterday was quite a day. Had work, and then my partner came over, and we spent the afternoon just kind of trying to de-stress together. Just kind of hanging out, having dinner together, cuddling and stuff like that. But still, I've mentioned at multiple points in the stream, it's been quite a 2 weeks. I'm exhausted. At this point, I feel like I'll be cutting out fabric like circles in my sleep. I've cut so many of them today. There we go. Zooms in on Crow's head dial-up noise. Honestly. You're an introvert to the nth degree. Even time with partners can be exhausting. Yeah, I'm trying to work on being more outgoing, but shit's exhausting. Like, my partner had a birthday party, and naturally I was invited. The theme was like Halloween in June, and me and my partner were dressed up as Gomez and Morticia. And there were like about, I want to say 10 people all together. But I was so exhausted after that. Also because I didn't really know many of these people. Like, my partner talked about them a lot, but like, you know, it's different seeing them in the flesh And one of them was really rude. But yeah, that was exhausting. Like, I had fun. It was nice meeting them all. But boy howdy, I needed just like 2 days of rest after that. I should go about have some lunch, so I'm gonna go do that. But everybody be good. Wait, I can just make my birthday Halloween themed randomly. Yeah, sure, why not? That's what my partner did. And most people came dressed up too, which was really neat. Like her dungeon master from D&D came like in a full-on like pseudo Viking warrior looking costume. He looked so cool, like red lenses and everything. Meanwhile, there's me. I'm just getting a tattoo on my birthday, and that is going to be what I'm going to be doing. Courtesy of my partner who set up the appointment to surprise me, which is really sweet. But it's a bit of travel, and it's going to be after work, so that's going to be fun. But I'm going to see that maybe I can take like half a day off so I can leave early. Did you dress up as anything? Yeah, me and my partner, we matched. We were Gomez and Morticia. And I must say my partner looks really good with the pencil mustache and like side swept hair. I don't know what that hairstyle is called. I still need to go over to my partner's again because there's still some of like decorations that I brought that I left at their place because I didn't feel like dragging them home. Oh, she was Gomez, cool. Yeah. It fit because she's shorter than me. We unfortunately forgot to take pictures though. But we're gonna dress up as them again for actual Halloween, hopefully, so we'll take pictures then. I mean, not that I'm gonna share them here, but you know, for myself. We're both bad at taking pictures. Well, my birthday's in 10 months, so I'll keep you posted. Still gives you ample time to start planning. Look at me using big fancy words. I kind of want to do something for the channel for my birthday as well, but I have no idea what that is going to be. I might ask for suggestions. Also, I wanted to be false. I can... Nana, like, you can watch whatever movie you want whenever you want. And if people are judging you for that, it's because they're miserable assholes who don't know how to have fun. Sorry, that was really rude, but still my point stands. If you want to watch Coraline, just watch Coraline. Kroki Acid just send the link to Pinch. I honestly mostly just use Pinterest for like OC stuff or like drawing references. I love how aggressive you got and had to apologize. Yeah, like, I do mean it though. Like, I don't understand why some people feel it necessary to judge others for anything they do. Like, mind your freaking business. Like, if someone wants to watch a movie that makes them happy, even if it's not seasonally appropriate, let them. Why does it matter? What impact does it have on your life? Sorry if I got kind of like pissy there, but I hate people who are like incredibly judgmental. Like, Nana watching Coraline is literally harming no one. It's them, like, it's them watching a movie. Like, calm down. Like, I watched Scream during the summer. How dare I watch a slasher movie not during Halloween? Older sister mode active. Funny you say that because I am an actual older sister. You go on rants about that a lot. Not saying it's a bad thing, just an observation. It's cool and appreciate. Yeah, I know I go on rants about that a lot because I used to be judged for the things I liked a lot. So I like repeating, probably a little too often, that, you know, people should mind their business. If it doesn't harm them, why cause a fuss about it? It's also because I'm a pretty alternative person and I get stared at a lot, which is frustrating. Like, oh, spooky, I have colored hair, tattoos, and piercings. Ugh, I'm gonna trans your gender. I cried spooky movies. I can't take slashers because I'm always... Honestly, same-ish, but Scream is just objectively hilarious. Especially with the fact that he eats shit like every other minute. Okay, so no Scream for the server movie night. Got it. Okay. I think I'm gonna round off stream. Gonna do the usual. Gonna keep it running a little bit so y'all can chat. Join the server if you haven't already. And yeah, but thanks for hanging out. I had a lovely time. It cheered me up a bit. And I hope y'all have a lovely rest of your weekend.